As good as the vanilla Galaxy S phones have been over the years, I haven't never really fancied, getting a base Galaxy S phone. So no matter how good the Galaxy S21, the S22 or the S23 has been, I was always swayed away by the bigger Plus and Ultra phones. However, this time I did things a bit differently. So instead of putting my SIM inside the Galaxy S24 Ultra after the review, I decided to put my main SIM inside the Galaxy S24 and make it my primary device of choice. Hello everyone, I'm here for Fiber by India today, and this is me talking about the Galaxy S24 beyond the honeymoon period. So instead of this being a regular review video, this one would be more of a personalized experience of myself with this device. Let's get started. So as I said, this is not your usual review video on Fiber, so I promise to keep aside the specs jargon. I will try my level best. So what do we want to talk about? I would say let's start with the best thing that I love about the Galaxy S24, that is the in-hand feel. Alright, first things first, there are not a lot of differences between the S24 and S23 when it comes to looks, but it's also the little things which I feel makes the S24 better. Of course, I love how handy and light this phone is, which is also the case with the S23, but with the S24, the slight curves at the rear make it quite comfortable to hold. You see, the S24 maintains the flat nature of the S23, all without feeling sharp. I also love the matte finish, which is not just on the rear glass, but also on the side frame. Now, I won't deny, to some folks, the S24 could come across as an iPhone. So, the other time when I was with my dad, I was on a phone call and he asked me, is this a new iPhone? But for most folks out there who are not my dad, I think Samsung has definitely carved a brand recognition for its Galaxy S phones with their flat design and 3-ring camera placement. Alright, I have to tell you that at this point of time, I have stopped using my other big smartphones, that is the Galaxy S24 Ultra and my recent one, the OnePlus 12. And while I love this feeling of not carrying a smartphone that feels like a brick in the pocket, it does come at the cost of battery life. So in my experience, it's been a while since I have had to charge my main phone twice in one day, which at first was a bit annoying, plugging the S24 every morning and evening. But if I have a phone which is so comfortable to hold and feels light in the pocket, I am willing to make the sacrifice. In fact, I have made the sacrifice. Honestly, I love the compact nature of the Galaxy S24, and I am also dreading the time that eventually when I have to shift to a new phone, and if it's a big smartphone, it's going to be hard. Okay, the other thing that I loved about the S24 as more and more I used the smartphone is the display and audio. So this AMOLED display of the Galaxy S24 is vibrant, crisp and beautiful. In fact, it also has an inbuilt extra bright setting which makes the display go extra bright in harsh sunlight. So again, while I didn't have any second thoughts about the S24's display being brilliant, it again came down to size. For me, I love watching YouTube and Netflix lying in bed, and that too on a smartphone. I am that person. So coming from OnePlus 12, it did take a couple of days to adjust to the smaller size, but when I realized that I didn't feel any tiredness while holding the device for long, again, since the phone is compact and light, I think this is the perfect display size for me to consume video content. But a smartphone's display is not just limited to consuming video content, right? So it's also to enjoy gaming, to see your photos, or to check your social media. And this also makes it the perfect time to talk a little bit about the performance of the Galaxy S24. And I know that many of you folks might be having this question in your head that does the Galaxy S24 overheat? Because this phone has the Exynos 2400 processor under the hood. So to put it simply, with my Galaxy S24 loaded with OTT apps, games, banking apps and so many other stuff, and to use the phone heavily throughout the day, I would admit at times the frame does feel a little warm, but nothing alarming of sorts at all. However, apart from the only time when I connect this phone to my car's Android Auto, the phone does get hot, but so do other phones. In fact, if I talk about my OnePlus 12, so when I connected the OnePlus 12 to my car's screen, this message, always displayed on top that your phone is getting extremely hot. Try turning off the screen. So nothing of sorts that happened with the Galaxy S24. But otherwise, it is safe to say that the Galaxy S24 does not overheat, especially these days when the afternoons in NCR have started getting annoyingly sunny. Apart from this, while the Exynos 2400 may have the second best benchmark numbers after the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, the S24's real-world performance is fast and snappy. Of course, for dealing with general tasks, the Exynos chipset performs well, but even when I was pushing this phone while multitasking or using the camera to snap photos or gaming, the overall performance was quite good considering this phone has all of this raw power packed in such a compact shell. Even the software experience, in my opinion, is the best Android experience you get. No doubt One UI is loaded with features, but it is also clean, polished, intuitive and user-friendly. Plus, with the S24 series, you're also getting up to 7 years of software updates, which is damn good. Now, before talking about the cameras of the Galaxy S24, I would also like to give you my 2 cents on the AI features that these S24 devices are being marketed for. So this phone has a slew of AI features like live translation on calls and text, generative AI image editing and all that jazz. But personally, after the initial period, I've honestly not used these features much, although I do use Circle to search a lot and I also keep playing around with image editing. And overall, I think having these features on your smartphone is a cool value addition, but I also have that thought at the back of my head that down the line these features will be charged for, so I don't know how that will pan out, but of course I'm hoping for the best. Alright, the cameras. So minus the extra periscope lens of the Ultra, I think the Galaxy S24 still has a pretty versatile camera setup for its price. Now, I won't deny I do miss the 5x periscope lens of the S24 Ultra here, but having these cameras at the back, the 50 megapixel primary, a 12 megapixel ultra wide and a 10 megapixel telephoto lens with 3x optical zoom, I've been quite satisfied with the results. First up, the Galaxy S24 has one of the best ultra wide cameras on any smartphone, and the best part is that there was little to no color disparity between the shots taken from the primary and ultra wide lenses. As for the telephoto lens, I use this one for capturing those portrait mode photos or when I wanted to get up close to subjects. Again, a higher zoom would have made it ideal, but for its price, the 3x optical zoom works quite well in favorable conditions. However, along with the capable ultra-wide and telephoto lenses, the real star of the show is the 50 megapixel primary camera, which delivers consistent performance across a variety of lighting conditions. I mean, Samsung's color science works just about right for me. Human skin tones are produced nicely in photos, HDR performance is solid along with good dynamic range in the end result. Of course, you should also know that the camera hardware remains largely unchanged from the Galaxy S23, but the improved ISP and the camera algorithms more than make up for the solid performance. While I was transferring my data from the OnePlus 12 to the Galaxy S24 and I had to give the OnePlus 12 to Imam since he wanted to use it as his daily phone, I did have my doubt. Because honestly, with only a handful of flagship phones lying around, I can only use one phone. But after the initial phase passed and I spent quite a few days with the S24, for me, its only shortcoming was the battery life. But that's a trade that I was willing to make, because if a phone is of this size, I think so it does not get any better. Plus, getting almost all the high-end features from the S24 Ultra at a much lower price and in a form factor that is so comfortable to use, the Galaxy S24 is probably the best compact flagship phone money can buy right now. Rest, if you want to know more about the Galaxy S24 or if you're planning to purchase one and you have your queries, you can always reach out to me in the comments. And as always, for all the latest in tech, stay tuned to Fiber. I'll catch you all in the next one. Thank you for watching.